Yeah, so if you guys are just here for the mini podcast-ish Q&A, stuff like that, I'll basically put a timestamp right here and all of that stuff. And not only that, because I'm an absolute legend, I'll put in the description the timestamps of the different questions, etc. But before you watch the video, please like the video. And obviously if you haven't subscribed, do all that stuff, do all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Fucking ring the bell and all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys watch at the end of the video, make sure to put in the comments. And I will literally comment back saying legend. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video.
Today's video, I'm gonna go over my diet plan, my new diet plan that I've been on. I've been on for about two weeks now. I think this is my second week. It's payday today, so I literally got paid like an hour ago. So, well, the thing I'm doing now, basically, I'm just being super planned with what I'm doing. Just buying a week's worth of food, basically. I've got everything like sorted out, basically, with what I need. I'm at Aldi, because if you don't shop at Aldi and when you're in England, I mean, you save so much money. It's actually amazing. But yeah, I'll probably be doing a full day of eating tomorrow on what I'm eating and just showing like what my diet plan is and how I think of it and stuff like that, and why I'm gonna go with my approach of just eating like super clean, basically, and just super like regimented, and just not doing like if it fits your macros and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm at Aldi. Before I go in, drop in the comments how much you think I'm actually going to spend. What I basically do, I go to Aldi for basically all the, well, majority of this stuff basically, and then I go to Tesco's, and then I basically get all the branded stuff. But yeah, later I think I've got two people who are going to do a live like Q&A, if you know what I mean. Basically, we're going to hop on a Zoom call, and I put up like a Q&A on my story, and they did too. So we'll be doing like a little Zoom call, answer some questions and stuff like that, just give some like more to the video, because as I said in my past video, I want to literally up my game and start like actually getting into YouTube and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's time to go fucking shopping. So I've just come out of Aldi. I didn't get everything. I got probably like half of what I wanted. Yeah, I spent £31. I don't know if you can see it. £31.64, which isn't really bad. If I could give any recommendation, you know, if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, little plug, you guys know I like steaks. So Asda for me has like the best steaks, where they're like ridiculously cheap. And they're like £3.70 for like a ribeye steak, and if you really like do your digging, you can get a good steak. And it's ridiculously cheap. But in Aldi, it's literally £2.85. Like it's ridiculous. And if you guys didn't know as well, I've literally got a new car. Probably put some B-roll. I basically got this car like what, November, and I haven't really updated it because I used to have an Astra, which was absolutely horrendous. And the main reason was I actually wanted a car where I can actually do some traveling, and well, I can't do any traveling now, so it's kind of like, but yeah, next week you'll probably see me in Tesco.
I can't find my way back to you till you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
Yeah, so it's the next day. Obviously this day we'll be doing a full day of eating kind of concept, just showing what I'm basically eating. So in the morning, I mean, it's like 1 o'clock right now.
I got up pretty late, not gonna lie. This is probably like one of the latest days I wake up. I tried to get myself to wake up a bit earlier, but I was absolutely shattered from the leg session we had yesterday in the rain. Love it. So I have myself a coffee, and if it's not Colombian and if it's not iced, then what are you doing? And it has to have a straw. On this.
Naughty, naughty, you teasing me.
Obviously, I'll put up my first meal here. 200 mils of cranberry juice, I think. I've got smoked salmon, £1.99 for this. Where in Tesco's, it's like £4. So, Aldi sponsor me. So, infused salmon, basically smoked salmon, it's 100 grams. Have that in the morning. I've also got 2 eggs boiling. And what I do, I have it with muffins, obviously, which is up there, what I've got to have. And I just put cranberry sauce on it, because I love cranberry sauce. And I just mash up the eggs and 2 little, like egg sandwiches. Yeah, and regarding supplements I have in the morning, I've been starting to have these like energized tablets, just because it's just got like a few little vitamins that I may be missing out. And it's like ridiculously cheap, rather than just getting a full-on like a multivitamin. So yeah, I'm basically just trying this out. I've also got krill oil. This is basically just omega-3s, like really good omega-3s from like, rather than like cod liver oil, it's from krill. This isn't too bad. If you guys are interested in any of these, I'll probably put them in the description below if you want to get them. But the most important one, vitamin D. I have 2 of these a day, so 4,000 I use. This was about £5. But honestly, even if you don't think you need vitamin D, get vitamin D. And I mean, I started like 2,000. You can't really OD on vitamin D. And I have it before a meal in the morning. I mean, there's so many benefits. I mean, just look it up. There's just so many benefits to having vitamin D. And many people are actually not getting enough. And especially here in England, where the weather is absolute, like it's just shit. Yeah, so I'm gonna eat this. It's about 1 o'clock now, so I'll be doing some like pre-market stuff, because if you guys don't know, if you're not in the stock game, GameStop and AMC Entertainment, if you know, you know. So yeah, I'll probably have my next meal around 2 o'clock. This is a really light meal, so I'll have it in like 10-20 minutes, and then I'll be hungry straight again after for my next meal. So I'll see you then. Okay, so my next meal is, I've got 200 grams of chicken, I've got 100 grams or 85 grams of rice, which I think might be 100 grams, but screw it. And I got around 100 grams, or like basically a cupful of vegetables. This meal looks boring, but I've got pulled chicken. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, pulled chicken I make is just insane. It's so good. I mean, I cook it all at once. Easiest meal to make. I put the vegetables in the air fryer. I boil the rice, obviously, and yeah, chicken I cook it all at once. I basically prep it. So this is my second meal. It's a bit later in the day, but I mean, I'm gonna get all my meals in anyway. That's all that matters really. And it's like a quiet day. I'm not really doing anything. I'm having this meal right here, and then I've got my pre-workout meal, which you obviously see in the next clip, and then I'm going to do a workout. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm just watching a Feel Arts podcast. I'm like halfway in my meal. Yeah, guys, if you ain't watching this podcast and like really into bodybuilding, 100% recommend it. It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I'm like halfway in my meal. To be honest, I'm not really like that full. But yeah, I'm just going to finish that and go straight into my next meal. Right, so my next meal I got to eat 2 Cocoa Pop square bars. I've got to have 20 grams of 85% dark chocolate and 100 grams of Play-Doh, which, well, it looks like Play-Doh. So cream of rice. It's red velvet. I've tried like a new company out. I've never bought cream and rice in my life. I don't know what I think of it so far, but I'm just kind of just eating it. But the colour, look at that colour. It looks so weird. Yeah, so this is basically my pre-workout meal that I have. And then in about an hour or so, I'll be getting my intro workout ready. A substitute for this, as you can see on the screenshot I've done, is like three Rice cakes. But I'm just choosing to have these because they're easier to get down. But yeah, I'm going to eat this and then obviously get ready for the workout. So yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, this looks like 50 kilos because it is.
Shit.
It's not like 15 kilos, I promise.
It's currently like 9 o'clock right now. I just finished my session. Yeah, so next meal is 110 grams of Cocoa Pops, like 400 mils of coconut milk, I'm pretty sure, 300. I've got a bagel here with some like burger baconaise sauce, which is actually pretty nice. So yeah, after this meal is basically it's meal 4, but the same as well, meal 5 technically, but the same as meal 2. So it'll be like 200 grams of pulled chicken, vegetables and rice. And I'll probably have it straight after. I'm just going to keep watching the podcast. Yeah, watch some YouTube. And then obviously I just finished my workout as well. So I obviously had my intro, which I'll put up here. I had my Lucasade Sport. I had my intro. All that. I basically just had this fucking meal here. I can't remember what it was. It was a nasty session. I've got toothache. The session was that good. So, I mean, let me know in the comments. Has anyone had toothache from working out? Because it was
Naughty.
So, yeah, I'm just going to finish this meal, watch some more Fiard's podcast, and I'll have my next meal. So, yeah. Yeah, so I've just eaten my second to last meal. It was pretty light. Yeah, I mean, I ate the vegetables. The vegetables are on top. Chicken and rice, literally easy meal, honestly. And the pulled chicken's actually really nice, like I said earlier. So I've just eaten that. Let's look at my Cocoa Pops. I'm gonna get my Greek yogurt, yeah, which is literally here. So it's lactose free because I'm lactose intolerant. But yeah, my last meal, which will be right here, is obviously 200 grams or milliliters of Greek style yogurt, 20 grams of dark chocolate, and I think it's some vegan protein, which I'll just have just before I go to bed. Yeah, so the next clip will probably be when I'm doing the Zoom call with Ezza or something like that. But yeah. Okay, we're all good. Right.
All right, let's do it.
Is the chat on? The chat's really good. Okay, so you got questions, yeah?
Yeah, got
Right, do you want
questions.
to start with the first one?
Yeah, we didn't get a huge amount, but we've got some. We'll try get through this relatively quickly. So the first question is, how long have you been training? So I'll let you start with that one.
Yeah. I've been training. I remember I started doing body weight for about 2 months because I remember I was too young to be allowed to go to a gym. I was like 15 and a bit. I started, I think it was like May 2017. I think so. Yeah. And I did body weight for 2 months. So May, June, July.
So I started lifting weights July 2017. So what's that, like 3 and a bit years?
Yeah.
But yeah, you count lockdown, and I'm like, I've only been taking it seriously for 2 months.
Mate, honestly,
I've been
like
taking it seriously for 2 months. That's what I'm saying.
everyone seems to say this now. It's like guys will be like training for like 3 years, and it's like, oh, I've been training for 3 years, but I've only been taking it seriously for a year. Okay, but like if you hadn't had those first 2 base years, you wouldn't be where you are today. Like, you probably made an unbelievable amount of newbie gains in your first 6 months. So you can't say, oh, like I've only been training this long. Like, I feel like it just leads people on a bit and gives them like false expectations.
Yeah, legit. I personally, for me, like, I can't say that just in my conscience, because I know as soon as I started, I mean, even when I was doing body weight, I was completely like killing myself. I was going all out.
And at that
like,
stage,
just
you
from
would
the
have been
get-go.
making gains from it as well. Like, I think I've been in the gym for 4 years. Like, so when I could get like a membership, or I joined like a pure gym at like 16. Before that, I was like sneaking into leisure centers every now and then to try get a session in. And like really, like the journey just started like in my room at like 15, just like curling some dumbbells or something. So I've been training between like, I think like 4 to 5 years basically. So
yeah, I'd always wanted to like start training. I was really envious of my brothers, because they're like 2 and 4 years older than me, and they would go down to the well springs and train, and they could train on the bottom floor, but I would not be allowed to go on the weights at all, obviously, because I was like 15.
Yeah, I remember.
So I had to go on the top floor and do the, like, what is it, the weird bands and the TRX.
The TRX,
mate.
Yeah.
Oh my days, those are the days. Honestly, it was good though. I mean, I got really good at pull-ups and stuff like that, and I got shredded. Honestly,
I had one of those like those little pull-up bars that you like whack on your door frame, and literally every night, like I just like be in my room, like getting a sweat on, just doing pull-ups and push-ups in my room. And like I actually like remember like growing like significantly from it. And then obviously you start seeing that progress, and then you're just hooked.
Man, I was hooked straight away. Straight away I was hooked. It's funny because I have like a really like addictive personality. I get super addicted to like specific things. So I used to be addicted to sharks, where I'd want to know every single thing about them. I used to make posters and magazines and sell them in primary school. I did the same with dinosaurs. I got insanely like addictive to art. So I was doing like legit like drawing 8 hours a day, like portraits and like still life and stuff like that. And then I got into magic tricks. I actually used to have a YouTube channel where I do magic tricks.
One of them ones,
yeah. I used to be so into it, and
I never got into the magic one.
Yeah, because like when I started doing them, I was like really addicted to it. But as soon as I started bodybuilding, something just like clicked, and I was like, "Yo, this is it."
You just knew it was like your calling, literally.
It's like,
Mate,
oh my god, this is the path.
I call it like the all-in, all-out personality. Like I'm literally exactly the same. Like, if I'm not interested in doing something, I will like procrastinate. Like, so much. But if I'm passionate about something, I'll do everything in my power to like achieve it. And that's why, like with bodybuilding and stuff, like my goals are so important. Like I didn't really, there came a stage where I stopped going out and seeing like people and drinking and all this kind of stuff, because like I just, I needed to sleep, I needed to get my meals in, I needed to train, and that was more important than anything. So
right, the next question was the next question.
Some people just never get that though, I don't think. Like, it's that obsessive personality. Like, if you've ever heard like Dorian Yates talking about like his bodybuilding, like he was just exactly the same, and that's why he was the best. Like he just shut off to the outside world and just did like his thing.
Yeah, I feel like you need it, honestly. I feel like it's one of those things in the recipe that it's one of those ingredients where if you don't have it, you can still make the cake, but it's just not as good. It just gives you that edge, you know what I mean? But
should we move on to question 2? Future goals within the industry / bodybuilding.
Oh god. Well, to me, I want to I want to not only be like a voice in the industry, but I want to make like a good business of it and have my own like circle around it where I can like capitalize into other areas. Like like it's the good thing with social media is if you blossom through that and you get your YouTube game and stuff like that, you can have like several sources of income, and you can just branch off to whatever you want in a way. Like you can do YouTube,
quite a lot
you can do
of
clothing,
pathway.
you can do
exactly.
you can do plans, you can you don't have to do any of that, or you can just go to personal training and do YouTube. Like you have so many different branches. But for me, like I would definitely want to I definitely want to incorporate travel and fitness together. I think that's one of the things I just want to do.
Travel vlogs and stuff would be so awesome.
It'll be that's one of the things, and not only that as well. Just like I think one of the things why I like YouTube so much, I do want to go and start like really doing that, is because you can literally like document your life. I feel like that's so cool, because 20 years down the line, you can look back and it's like, it's like videographic memory. You can literally watch your life rather than just remember it. You know what I mean? But that's definitely one thing I'd want to do, is like be able to like have my own business and like be able to go to anywhere in the world and still have income and stuff like that, and be just financially free. I think that's one of the things.
So would you say you want to be more of like a figure in the industry rather than like a bodybuilder as such?
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. To be honest, so I think the first one was more long term. I do want to definitely, like, I do love the bodybuilding aspect. Like, I would love to kind of tie in two together, if you know what I mean. But
I'm the same.
I think it's not impossible to do both. But I wouldn't want to just do like traveling and stuff like that, in a sense. Like I would want to do that, but maybe like while in the process of doing getting on stage and stuff like that. Like Brandon Hardbody's doing, you know what I mean, where he's like traveling.
He's done it perfectly.
Like you can travel, you know what I mean. You can go to the what's it called, the oxygen room or something like that. You know what I mean, like travel to gyms and do that at the same time while trying to like get on the Olympia stage. You know what I mean?
I think I'm similar, to be honest. I think Brandon Harding has done it really well. Like bodybuilding, he's got like his own like brand now. I think that's so ideal. I think like I really think building like a following on social media is like a top priority, because like I feel like a lot of the stuff, like, if you want to do coaching, if you want to have your own brand, like all of that will come from whether you've got like a well-established fitness page. So I feel like that definitely is something that, like, for both of us, like you want to get to like a level where, we've got like a decent following, we've made like a name for ourselves in the industry, and then everything can like sort of stem from there.
You can really capitalize on like
exactly
business wise. It's golden. It's a gold mine. I mean, you can go in any kind of, you can venture away in any branch you want per se, and you can at least like succeed if you have the following that is dedicated to what you provide, like the service you provide. I think that's sick. I think it's a gold mine that people don't really see.
I think for me at the moment, like my focus is more like bodybuilding. Like I kind of want to see like, how far I can go in that, like staying as a natural, like initially, like we'll get onto that later. But then, if I feel like competing, you have to like really, really just love it so much, and like not having done it yet, I don't know yet, because like
that's the same for me.
Hard, like, so I want to see, whether it's for me or not, and then like, if not, I'd love to like go into online coaching or something. And I feel like the end goal for me would be like owning a gym or something. Like that would just be like the coolest thing.
I think to me, like with the traveling and the bodybuilding, I think I'd definitely want to do both, but it could completely flip side it. Like I could be like, I'll do the traveling like after I've been on stage and all that stuff. Because I simply haven't competed yet, and I think when I do go through that process, that'll signify whether I actually do love or not. Like right now, I could easily, train to, be on the Olympia stage or something like that. But I have no idea yet, like, because it's a completely different game when you're you're dieting for like 16, 18, 22 weeks, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
and you're in the rut, you know what I mean? It's completely different sport, if you know what I mean, rather than like
that's that. I reckon prep is probably what just puts most people off like pursuing that as a career.
Some people just don't want to do it. I mean, I respect that, but you gotta be a tough motherfucker to.
100%. I want to give it a go. Yeah. I mean, this is the third question is, are you going to compete? So, I know you want to compete. I'm looking to compete this year. I've been looking at shows like the last few days, and like it'll be my first comp, and if I like it, then I definitely will. So I'll be competing in the teens, and then if I do well, I like it, then I'd probably compete again in the juniors. And then like if I saw the potential to go for a pro card, then maybe if I loved it enough, then I probably would. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I definitely want to go in junior physique. I want to go in a natural federation, get my kind of experience and stuff like that of the sport in itself, and like the competitive aspect of like dieting down and stuff like that. I definitely want to do physique at the moment. I think that's where I would do personally better. Like me and my coach are obviously discussing this. We only discussed it like last week. But then in the future, I mean, if I can add on more size and stuff like that, which obviously I know I'll definitely be able to do, maybe I'll go to classic.
I could definitely see you doing well in physique.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things at the moment where I definitely would do better at. If I could get to like over 200s and stuff like that, who knows, maybe I'll, have the shape for classic and stuff like that. But we'll see. It's early.
I think until you've got like really like enough muscle mass and you've fully stopped developing and stuff, I feel like you don't really like know like where you're going to end up, your structure and everything. Like
I mean, we're still young, and I mean, like we said at the start, we've only been training for like 3-4 years at the most, and you're gonna be like fully capped out at least like 5 or 6 of where you can go, and obviously you can add like other supplements in, like I'm not saying, but that can help along the way, and obviously gain a bit of muscle and stuff like that. But
yeah, well, that leads on nicely to question 4, which is, would you ever consider taking steroids going enhanced?
This is definitely like this is the title now, isn't it?
The ultimate question. Everyone wants to know.
Bam, you already know it. I feel like it depends how I would do competitive wise. I feel like I would want to definitely be capped out and squeeze the sponge as much as possible naturally, and then if I need that for like competitive reasons and stuff like that, I feel like I would do that. But I definitely want to squeeze a sponge of the the natural gains, you know what I mean, before I start adding something.
I'm exactly the same. Yeah, like I think because there's so much like deception in the industry now, like no one seems to be like that open about it. I have no idea what's actually attainable as a natural, so I want to do it to myself, like so I can actually see like what is really possible. Because you always you get guys who like claim natural and stuff, and there's always people saying, oh, like he can't be natural, and maybe they are. It's just because like there's so much deception. I feel like people just no longer like actually know like what really is possible as a natural, because even in natural federations and stuff, there still are like athletes, because you can like the tests, some of the testing, like in some of the federations, the testing isn't that vigorous, so like you still do get people who are like they probably came off it like a certain time before their show, but so they're natty, but they're not like lifetime natties.
I feel like it's so subjective though, whether like what's attainable natural is subjective to only yourself. It's an individual thing, because genetics are so different. But I feel like there's some clear indicators that you can kind of figure out whether someone is natural or not. But I mean, there's some genetic phenoms out there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the thing. If you look at some of like the top like pro bodybuilders in the Olympia, and you look at how they looked when they were natural, they look better than like
People,
half
yeah,
the people when they're enhanced. So like, it literally is just so much genetics. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
if you don't have those genetics yourself, you don't, like, I guess you'll never really like believe like what's actually possible. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think that one of the main indicators for me as well would be whether I can actually, well, whether I actually do have the gift.
Yeah.
Because if I wouldn't really per se, you know, do such a big thing and a life-changing thing, whether if I don't believe I have the goods to, you know, get on this stage or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's that obsessive personality. Like, I'm the same. You know, if I like sort of reach my natural potential, you know, I look awesome, and I think, right, I could, if I took it up a notch and I could, you know, get to Olympia, I could be the best, then, you know, I would do it. But other than that, I wouldn't really see any other reason to do it, because obviously it is such like a massive health risk. So I think I just want to stay natural, you know, like train for, you know, at least 7 years, see what I can do with my physique, and then, you know, if the option's there to go enhanced, then I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What's the
What do you dislike most about the industry? Classic.
I think for me is the realism when you blow up. I think that's the thing that really gets me. I never understand where, like, you know, I'm obviously not gonna be pointing any fingers and stuff like that, because, you know, that's not really what I'm about. I don't feel like I have a place to say that, but one thing that really would annoy me of a person, if they are like super humble and stuff like that, and then, you know, they blow up and act like they don't know nobody.
Yeah, you see it all the time. I mean, I guess unless you've experienced it yourself, I guess you don't know like what it, because obviously like, fame, like, you know, it does get to people's heads. But you know, I mean, you've got a pretty massive following already, and like you're like a down to earth guy. Like,
yeah. I think it's, for me personally, it would be, you know, those people who blow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who
like 100K plus, like that kind of,
you know, and I can understand why they would kind of pull themselves away from some people, but like stay humble and all that stuff. Like, I understand that, you know, people treat you differently, that, you know, it can come across as a mental aspect that some people just want something from you. That's why they're interested in you and stuff like that. But me personally, I'm just going to stay exactly the same.
How to stay motivated, another classic. I think we can be quick about
I would
this.
say motivation is not really the answer. It's kind of like a bit of a controversial opinion, and I would say at the same time not. Motivation comes in waves, but I would say at the moment it just boils down to passion. Like, at the moment, I feel like the mindset of it is like the most important of it, because then you understand that motivation isn't always going to be there. You kind of just got to be on autopilot and get used to it. And it just always boils down to how bad you want it. That's literally the question. And if you don't want it that good, you know, you won't get there, because the people who have failed time again, they never ever stop. And if you never ever stop, you eventually get there. It may take you 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years, but if you really want it that bad, you're just not going to stop until you get there. That's the way I think, really.
Yeah. I mean, literally, the only thing I'd add to that is, like you said, it is all about passion. Like, if you're not going all out with what you're doing, like, you know, you're clearly not loving it enough. You're clearly not passionate enough. So, you know, maybe you have to consider whether what you're doing, are you doing it for the right reasons? Like, if you're passionate about something, like, you don't need motivation. It's as simple as that.
I would say as well to those, I don't want to be a bellend, but if anyone's asking that, it kind of tells you already. You know what I mean? I've had so many people ask me, "Oh, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated?" I'm like, "Oh, do I tell them?" It's like, it's kind of like, if you're asking it, then you know you have a problem. Maybe you don't want it bad enough, because if, you know, you can obviously think to yourself like, "Oh, how can I stay motivated?" and stuff like that. I feel like you'll just find a way to do it anyway. You know, if it's a ever burning fire and it's like the desire's there, it will just ignite again.
Exactly. Yeah, I can read them. So these are like we're not on fitness anymore. These are just some absolutely random questions. So one of them is, would you rather have unbelievable sex that lasts a minute or average sex that lasts an hour?
1 minute.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Is this like permanently?
I would say permanently. I would say they're talking permanently.
Like, but you can go rounds. So like.
Oh nah. I'd say it's 1 round, because then it makes it easier. Obviously, it'd be like, you just go 1 minute intervals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like a 5-minute break, 20 minutes.
An hour is long. That's a
1 minute though.
Well, like,
yo, an hour's long. Mate, nah.
Mate.
I mean,
an hour every time you shag, that is long, mate. It doesn't even get like fun at that point though. I feel like the prime is like between like 10 to 15 minutes, and then like it just gets like a bit like, it just gets a bit like, I swear like girls, like, you know, they like after like a certain point it's just, they stop enjoying it anyway. You can tell when you're in bed with someone, when like it just becomes a bit like you're just fucking going through the motions, isn't it?
mate, I'm the opposite. I'm sorry. I'm like, nah. If they get bored 10 to 15 minutes, you're not doing something right. Now I would oh man, I would have to say unbelievable.
But it's average sex. If it was good sex in an hour, then obviously, but like
you just destroy for an absolute minute, just all out. You know, like average for an hour.
Yeah, does she climax as well? Like unbelievable sex for both of you, like, because imagine being a machine, like a minute, and you can make them come straight away.
1 minute. It's like as soon as you slip it in, it's like 50 seconds to go, and you're like, oh.
If you could go round
for an hour,
I don't know. This is
if it's average for an hour though, it makes it go even longer, because it's okay.
Yeah.
So I would say, an unbelievable 1 minute, but it's 1 minute though. I would have to say 1 minute, because an average hour you're kind of just there like, not really.
If it wasn't regular sex, then I'd go with the second one. But like, imagine every single, like, let's say you've got a girlfriend and like you literally live with her, and every single time you shag, like it's literally just drags on for an hour. Like,
yeah.
And you wouldn't have time for anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
I don't know. That's what appeals to you most, money or fame? See, I feel like the two just go hand in hand, really. So it's a bit pointless.
I feel like fame can bring you money, but money can't necessarily bring you fame.
Yeah.
I feel like nowhere near as much as fame brings money, because fame is influence, and influence people are like willing to spend money on what you provide. I would personally say money.
Yeah, I'd say money as well, because like
you get left alone to what you want to do.
Money doesn't bring you fame, so like why would you, if you can make money, why would you want fame as well? Like I'm not that
fame
interested.
As well as like you could you can't do the simple things like go to the shop without being like stopped, and you want to go to like spend time with your kids or something, or your wife, and you're constantly going for a coffee and you're constantly getting stopped to take like photos and stuff. Like it'll be good at the start, but I don't know.
Fame doesn't really interest me that much. I'd rather just be happy, fulfilled, and like have enough money to be financially free. Like that's the ultimate goal in life, really. Yeah.
It just dropped, and it just kept going down, kept going down, and there'd be moments where I'd have to put in more effort in the photos and stuff, because I feel like for people watching this, like it's so difficult getting content. Like for me personally, when you've been doing stuff for like 3 years now, you're like, oh, I've already done this pose, but you're trying to just like do stuff differently. And if you've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years, it's really hard sometimes to get some content, especially if you don't have the best equipment or like people to take photos and stuff like that. But yeah, it honestly, ever since that, I think
Yeah,
That's one
you
I
see
just
all
got.
the influencers and stuff regurgitating all of their like posts and stuff though, especially the ones that do really well. Like, you know, you don't have to. I feel like if you go on like an influencer's page, you don't have to scroll down that far before you see like a post that they've literally just posted.
Yeah. I mean, it is difficult. I can't say myself that I've, every single post has been different. I do kind of get ideas from like, oh, I remember I did that and it did pretty well. I kind of see the patterns on what people want. Like for me personally, it's really annoying, but well, it until recently, but back pictures never do well. They just don't. And I think it might be an algorithmic, whatever word it is, approach to like faces do better when they're on, in the algorithm. But every time I do a back photo, just never does it. So, and it's my best part. I feel like it's my best body part, and it's really fucking annoying. Because, when I got that when I was on the lat pull down and I got that really good photo, like
That
a lot
post
of
was
comments.
nutty.
Yeah, but it just never does good in terms of engagement. I don't know why. It's just an algorithm, but
It was the new algorithm. You know how they've got like the ranking system now. Like likes literally mean nothing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like problem that both of us have is because we're both so much about like authenticity. Like we just almost stunt our own growth because like, I feel like at the moment in life, like in so many walks of life, you just have to play the game. Like do what the system wants you to do, play the game, and when you've made it, you can say and do what you like. But until then, I feel like you can't do that. Otherwise, like you're never going to get to where you want to be, which
you
sucks.
legit can. Yeah, I honestly feel like I treat all of this like a game. I mean, I treat life like a game because I feel like there's certain rules and tools that you can use. But legit, it's like a hold your breath until you get to the top, and then you can scream and shout whatever you want. I mean, if you guys want any more videos like this, or I mean, like we just said, like a podcast or stuff like that. I mean, I would love to make a podcast.
Literally,
Some high production, like, you know what I mean, and just chat about absolute nonsense of the world. I mean, obviously, drop in the comments down below. But yeah, I mean, if you're watching so far, like this long against with the video,
I'll be impressed if anyone's got this far.
I mean, obviously, if you're still listening and all that now, make sure you like the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.